Okay, number 5, again, we look at the base number right here, which is 4. So we know that it's another growth function. Okay, not a decay, but a growth. Why? Because 4 is bigger than 1. And so our reference points are negative 1, 1 over b, so 1/4, 0, 1, and 1 b, so 1/4. The a value is 2, again, and the a comes from here. The h value is negative 3, and why is it negative 3? Because it's the opposite of what we see up here. This is x minus h, so h happens to be negative 3. And k, that comes from here, negative 5. Okay, so now we use this information to transform our reference points or our anchor points. So the a value is multiplied to the y value, we'll multiply the y's by a. So let me go ahead and do that. So I usually write it up here as a reminder. So only the y's, so the x stay the same. So sometimes I just go down the column and copy down the x's, so I know I'm not going to change them at this step. So 2 times 1/4 is a half. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Then we are going to use the h and the k. So that means that the x's get, you add negative 3 to the x's, so they get subtracted by 3, however you want to look at it. And then the y's, we add negative 5, so minus 5. So go ahead and do that transformation. So that gives us negative 4, negative 4.5, half, negative 3, and negative 2, 3. Okay, so that gives us the points that we're going to be plotting right here. Okay, so the x and y axis is already on there on the screen. Notice how all my x's are negative and I've got y's that are positive and negative, so that's why I gave myself room on the positive y-axis and on the negative y-axis. Okay, let's see, first thing we put in there is the horizontal asymptote. So this one is y equals negative 5. So that one just goes across down here. Then we plot the points negative 4, negative 4.5. Approximately, let me use a different color, approximately right here. Then negative 3, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and negative 2, 3. So negative 2, 3 up here. Okay, and connect those points with a smooth curve as best as you can. So here we go. And then draw the, okay, so it's not too good. There he goes. So there's a graph. So now we're going to answer the domain, range, horizontal asymptote, and the y-intercept. Okay, so down here, the domain is all reals. The range is all y such that y is greater than negative 5. Again, remember this number right here we get from k. The greater than or less than depends on whether the graph is above that number right here or below. And here we could see that the graph is above, right? So it's greater than. So just close that brace right there. Horizontal asymptote, y equals negative 5. Now this one for the y-intercept, we do have to do a little bit of work because notice how these points right here, none of these are y-intercepts. And if you look at the graph, we didn't even touch the y-axis, right? And it looks, just by the steepness of the curve, that it's going to be a pretty big y-axis, right? Y-intercept. So we need to calculate it. And remember, to calculate it, we replace the x with a 0. So that's 2 times 4, 0 plus 3, minus 5. So that's 2 times 4 to the third minus 5. Now remember, guys, order of operations. Do not multiply 2 and 8 and then raise it to the third power. It's 4 to the third first, then times 2, and then at the end minus 5. Okay, so 4 to the third times 2 minus 5. So 4 to the third is 64 times 2 is 128 minus 5 is 123. So there's your y-intercept right there. So you'd write it as 0, 123.